You're seeing it play out across a lot of these giants, and social media and everyone having a voice and being able to actually kind of band together with that voice is obviously a huge difference than a generation ago. I mean, we would have had to organize mass protests in a more offline guerrilla type way. I mean, now you can see a backlash building and see how tech leaders are forced to become lobbyists, forced to become spokespeople for the entire industry. So it's interesting to watch and see them navigate it in real time.
That's going to be tricky, right? I mean, whether you're a startup or a big company, do you have to think about who your customers are and how that's going to look and how that's going to reflect on your reputation, not just domestically, but globally?
Well, politics and business don't usually mix that well, and I think this is one of the situations where the technology has changed dramatically is because of computer vision, artificial intelligence, the ability to surveil people, and that's what really these tech workers are revolting against. In this particular situation, having to do with the migrants, but. What if the government was starved of all the technology? How would the government function? How would we do our basic functions of governing this country without access to technology? That doesn't seem realistic to me.
When it comes to trade, how much is this China trade tension, Ellie, impacting the way you look at investments and how much you look to get invested perhaps in China or in the Asia-Pacific region? Interesting to see Google making this move to invest in JD right at the time when there's this sense of tension building. Is there a need for tech to say, hey, we're not involved in that piece of the politics, we're still interested in this market?
Sure, I think you're seeing a lot of maneuvering around that right now. But in terms of looking at the early stage, it's something we're all paying attention to, but it's hard to predict and often not the first market that companies that we're looking at are going after. So it's kind of still focusing on the core, and we'll see what happens. But it's something we have to think about as the trade war escalates. But it'll be interesting to see in terms of M&A activity, in terms of how the giants are actually treated as both sides start to retaliate. But I think right now it's anybody's guess.
Does it feel to you like this could come off of the boil quickly, these trade tensions, if the German automakers come to an agreement with the U.S. and all of a sudden tariffs on both sides come down?
Well, there's a lot of brinkmanship going on, and
sure.
It says, well, who's going to blink first, right? So, I'm hoping that all of this kind of goes away. And I'm not so much concerned about the tariffs, which is bad enough. I'm much more concerned about the disruption in the supply chain. Because if you get this kind of animosity, then you get all of the customs issues, all of the slowdown and the bureaucratic, which has nothing to do with tariffs, which has to do with just disrupting the enemy's trade possibility. Sure. We've got a number of companies in commerce, for instance, robotics, some hardware companies, where the supply chain coming out of China is essential. And if it's not so much the cost of that, it's just if you disrupt it, and also everything is moving to an on-demand. And if you disrupt on demand, then you're going to have a real problem in the economy.
But are you saying that distrust lingers after an agreement, so to speak, on paper?
No, I'm just saying if we don't come to an agreement, it's above the tariff, you also get all this disruption.
Sure.
If we come to an agreement, hopefully everything is rosy. And,
and literally, we'll all be in love again, as the president said weeks ago.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.